Hello, and welcome to Learnute, a channel dedicated to helping others to achieve their goals. If you're here, you're probably searching for a new role, and we're here to help. We have broken this process into 9 simple steps to help you as you navigate the immense world of job searching. Please use this video as a resource and hit like below and subscribe if you'd like to learn more from Learnute. Step 1 is always keep yourself motivated. Your previous job is the past. Right now, you need to focus today in order to achieve your future. No matter what happened in the past, it does not matter. That is just noise in the background that's not going to help you achieve your goal. Make sure you're taking whatever lessons, pearls of knowledge you need from your previous roles, not just the last one you were at, to go and achieve what future role you would like to be in and what kind of salary, the job description, all of those things on what you want for this new role coming forward to you. Keep an open mind as you are in this process. Remember, every single day as you're going through this, make sure to eat healthy and exercise daily. There's nothing worse than you staying within your home or your apartment and you're staying with your own thoughts in your head. You need to get out. You need to exercise. Go for a walk. Go and get out some fresh air to expand your horizons and also your perspective. So as you come back, you are refreshed and going back into the drive to get that job. And remember, never disparage your previous employer on social media or with your colleagues. No matter what happened in that previous job, you still had a job, they employed you, you provided a service. You don't know who's going to see whatever information you put down on social media. It actually might affect any new job you are trying for. So make sure you stay professional, you stay focused, and you stay on the aim to achieve your goal. Step 2 is to file unemployment. Now, depending on your state, you will go and get different amount of money as a weekly benefit and for a certain time period. For average in the United States is $450 a week for 6 months. You will file unemployment if you were unemployed through no fault of your own, meet your state's work and wage requirements, and meet any additional state requirements. Now, you will do this as soon as possible because it may take time for you to actually get the benefits. It may take several weeks. So, as soon as you can, file your unemployment. Depending on your state, you will go to that site and complete the information. Now, during unemployment, you may have to show the actual information that you're doing and searching for. Because what you're doing is getting paid to find another job during this period. And you get paid weekly. So you have to make sure that you keep a tally, use a spreadsheet of all the things you're doing, whether it's creating a resume, is it going into LinkedIn, is it creating a cover letter, is it searching for jobs? All of those things matter. Write them down so you don't have to worry about later on when they ask you for that documentation. And if you work part time, what happens is that part time employment, while you're getting unemployment, there will be a differential. So, say if I get a part time job, I'm making $200 a week. My average weekly benefit is $450. What happens is now, instead of me getting $450, I will get $250 in unemployment because I made $200 part time. But what happens with this is that it doesn't just disappear this benefit, it then elongates the period I have to achieve this unemployment. So instead of it lasting 6 months, instead, because I was also earning an income, it will be longer than 6 months. Step 3, crucial step. Create income and expenses tracker. What I tell people at this time is be open, be organized, be honest, and be frugal. Starting with be open, do not feel anxiety as you go through this process. I know that's really hard to go and say that to people because there's nothing more anxiety inducing than sitting down and thinking about finances. It's the one thing that people tend to freak out over. But don't do that. What I tell people is if you're feeling anxiety over something, that means that's something you really have to address now rather than later. That means subconsciously you know there's an issue and you just have to bite the bullet and take care of it. Be organized. Use a spreadsheet. You can use Word, but that's not going to help you with all the formulas. I would say use Excel, use Google Sheets. Use this to take the time to organize your information. Be honest. Do not shoot yourself in the foot. List all your income, all your assets, all your expenses. You need to do this because even going off by $1 can change how much you need to earn during this period to be successful. So you drive towards a goal and take care of yourself and anyone else that is part of your family or dependent on you, whether it's a person or an animal. So make sure to be honest. And lastly, be frugal. This is going to be a very hard time. And I'm not saying that nobody has the right to go and do things that they enjoy, but when you have to think about your responsibilities versus your wants, this is a time when you really have to think to yourself, this is a time to go and focus on necessities, be lean, focus on what you need to do. Later on, once you get a job, you can go and get your wants. But you really have to be thinking about the future and what you need to do today to ensure you are taking care of your things. You don't want it to be where you don't have a roof over your head. You don't want it to be where you don't have the necessities in your life. And you have to make this the time where you focus on those necessities and make sure those get taken care of, because the worst thing you can do is not do that, and then you have so much debt that you cannot get out of it. So, step one, you're going to write out all your income and asset resources, unemployment, child support, your car, your savings, your final paycheck, your house, your retirement, everything. Write it down. Step two, write out all your expenses for the next 180 days. Your rent or your mortgage, credit cards, car payments, any subscription services, insurance, childcare, tuition, personal student loans. Write it all down. Then next, you're going to talk about your estimates for additional monthly expenses over the next 90 days. And that's going to include your groceries, eating out, gas, car maintenance. Then, when it comes to your actual health insurance, depending on what you're doing when you're employed, you might have access to Cobra. Now, you won't need access to any Cobra if, say, you are married or with a significant other and you can use their insurance or another family member. Then you don't have to worry about Cobra. Now, with Cobra, the thing is that it is more pricey because it's not employer paid insurance, but it's available to you, and you want to make sure you have health insurance in case anything happens to you. If you can't use Cobra, you could always go on the marketplace to get insurance. Then you're going to add all of the income together. We're going to add all of the expenses, not only just the 180-day expenses, but also its additional monthly expenses. And then we're going to subtract my income from my expenses to really get a good gauge of where I am financially and what I need to do and drive for the next 180 days to make sure that I am prepared for whatever happens. Using an example, we have an income table here. So let's say Unemployment, I'm getting $450 a week. I also get a severance of $600. This only happens once. Savings, let's think I have savings of $7,000. I have a checking balance of $1,000. My current balance is $8,600. Along with my monthly income is $1,800. Next, I'm putting together my expenses. So let's say my credit card, I owe $1,000. I have a really high interest rate on this credit card. One thing about interest rates is 20%, it's like you're wasting money down the drain. So the higher interest the rate you got to make sure that gets taken care of, or every single time you're paying for something, you're basically paying way more than what it's worth, and you're wasting money. So just like a call out for that credit card, we want to make sure that gets paid off at $1,000. Next, I have rent of $2,200 a month. So based on my where I am my rent, I'm saying here I have 3 months to the end of the lease. So I know I got to pay $6,600 to make sure I have a home. Then we have a car payment. We'll say I have $648 a month I have to pay for this car. Interest rate's 8%. Current debt, including with that interest rate, is $30,000. And so if I subtract this off, $648 from that remaining debt is $29,352. Car insurance, $100 a month. And I know that the next period for my car insurance, it ends in 4 months. So that's $400. Then I have Disney Plus, my Hulu subscription. That's $21 a month. Current debt of $21 that I still have to pay. I have not paid that yet this month. And what did I have after making that payment this month? I'll have $0. So altogether, I have $3,969. Current debt, all of my debt altogether is $33,321. And then any remaining debt afterwards, once I do all my payments, is $36,352. Now, looking at this, that includes that 30,000 less than the $648, but it also includes the $400 with my car insurance because I have 4 months left and the $6,600 with rent. Now, we will come back to this to think about what can we tweak and save money here. Next, I have my additional monthly expenses. So as we can see here, groceries, I'm budgeting for $800 a month, gas, $80 a month, car maintenance, $30 a month, eating out, $1,000 a month. So altogether, I have $1,910 a month. So when I'm looking at my income minus my expenses, so we said my income was at $8,600. My current month expenses are $3,969. And then my additional monthly expenses are $1,910. So if I don't cut any of my expenses and I only have this limited income and my unemployment income is $1,800, for my current month, minus my expenses, once that occurs, I'll have in my bank account $2,721 at the end of the month. Now, if I don't cut any expenses, still with the same limited income where I'm making an additional $1,800 a month, I'm already getting into negative territory next month by $358. And then the following month is going to be further negative by $3,437. So already, because I did this exercise, I can tell I have opportunity here that I need to address right now in order to meet my goals while I'm unemployed. I need to do something and do something quick. That brings us to step 4, where we assess where we are. Now, This is going to vary depending on my income to expense ratio. So the recommended budget is 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% for your savings. And this is not just for when you are unemployed. This is something that you need to do every single time, no matter whether you have a job, retired, whatever. So when I'm looking at my needs plus my wants, and so when I say needs, it's anything that's a need that I need to pay for. So that would include like my house payment. That would include my car payment because that's not a need. That's a need. That's not a want, right? Food. When I calculate that plus my wants, that should be less than or equal to 80%. And if it's there, that means I'm in good shape. What I can do is I can sit there and focus on my career search. Now, this means there's going to be this no matter whether it's this month, the next month, the following month. Now, if those needs plus those wants are greater than 80%, you're going to need to find ways to reduce your expenses or achieve income sources while completing your career search. And if your needs plus your want is greater than 100%, like you have no savings, and that's going to be the case with what I just showed you for myself, I need to drastically reduce my expenses and get immediate income sources. So let's talk about first trimming debt. Now, when it comes to trimming debt, I had to think about what can I do, such as canceling subscriptions, replace with free or low cost alternatives, refinance or consolidate loans, shop around for insurance, put student loans on postponement, get a roommate, move in with family. I know for some people, they're just like, why would I do that? But this is one of those times when you need to really think about what are my goals? I need to think about the future. Do I want to be straddled with a whole bunch of debt when I can just go ahead and take care of this right now and get myself into a place where I can be autonomous and not have to do this again? You can also take public transit, don't eat out, couponing. Lots of people do couponing, brains down their groceries to where it's hardly anything that they're paying. You got enough time? Try to think about it. Think about what goal you're trying to achieve and drive towards that. So let's look at our expenses table, for example. So we talked about our credit card, 20% interest rate. We already know we're going to take care of that. Rent, we need a roof over our head. $6,600 a month. That's like our biggest monthly payment. Now, we can stay where we are, or we can see about what we can do and reduce that payment. Maybe there's a smaller apartment we can live in within the same complex. Maybe we can go and get a roommate, split the cost, someone we know. Think about those things to drive down that cost. Car payment. When it comes to that, thinking about what can we do? Can we refinance it? What are the opportunities? Car insurance. That's only $100 a month, but you can still shop around. Maybe you can get it for even cheaper. One of the things that people don't do is they think and assume that suddenly their car insurance is going to just give them automatically the best rate. That is not the case. You have to shop around. Now, Disney Plus, Hulu subscription, I'm not one to tell people you can't have things that make you happy, but think about other alternatives. There might be something else you're paying for where you can get it cheaper. Now, I didn't put here a cell phone, or even internet, but a lot of times you will have your internet cell phone provider will provide subscriptions to these different services for free. So think about those things. Look for that in whatever you already existingly have. Another thing is Disney Plus and Hulu. If you have an Amex card, they'll actually go and reimburse you monthly. You get a credit on your bill. So look into those different benefits you have with existing cards, etc. Looking into my additional monthly expenses, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, eating out, take out that $1,000. That is one of the things that is going to cost you the most is eating out, and it's not even going to benefit you as much as just buying groceries, eating healthy, and it's going to be better for your mental state. So go and use that money instead to buy groceries, cook at home. You're going to have more time at home, so you can put that focus there. Now, gas, car maintenance, if you're living in a place where you have public transportation, it might be cheaper. Now, when it comes to certain cities, there's no public transportation, or there's actually, you don't want to take the public transportation. And so in those cases, you will still have gas and car maintenance, but depending on if you're going to be out and about and using a car, it might drive down this. But those are things to factor in that may not be as obvious that you actually can trim down. And depending on what you're going to do for immediate sources of income, those might actually increase. So that's something to be cognizant of. Step 6 is immediate income streams. These are going to provide you income now until you can get more of a full time job. Now, remember, as we talked about before, if you are earning income, it will reduce your unemployment benefits by the weekly amount, but it will extend the time period where you can actually get those benefits. Now, when it comes to gig work, you can do something like Uber, Lyft, Instacart, Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Amazon Flex. For temp work, you can go and reach out to local temp agencies and find work through them. Now, there might be inconsistent work, part time work, but at least it's something that you can start making money through. Another thing is contract work, Randstad, Robert Half, Kelly, Insight Global. And there's also freelance like Fiverr, FlexJobs, Indeed, TaskRabbit, Upwork. You could also do tutoring. There are so many opportunities of what you can do during this time to go ahead and earn side income. There's also certain companies like Kohl's where you can actually work part time. You actually also can get health benefits, and it's seasonal work, and they provide you with those benefits. So I would look into whatever you can working part time to go with work with different companies to actually earn that income that you can. Step 7 is resume writing. Now, when it comes to writing up a resume, I always tell people before you start writing out everything, take a step back. On a spreadsheet, list down all your previous roles with the start and end dates. Then you're going to take for each one of those roles, writing down your achievements and key metrics you achieved. When you're writing when you're writing a resume, they don't really care about all the different little tasks you're doing in your job. They already know those. What they want to know is what value did you provide to your previous positions and how you can take that value and help them. Then you're going to use a free resume template and actually put in all of that information there for that resume template and modify it with your details. Then for there, you can create your cover letter. And within the cover letter, you can actually put in macros. So every single time you're applying to a different job, you can actually tailor it based off the job that you're applying to. Remember, your cover letter, you want to make sure, along with your resume, that you're catering it to the job you're applying for. So you might have different versions. Then, lastly, you will update your LinkedIn with your resume details, skills, your banner, picture, and summary. In step 8, you will select the roles you'll apply to. Now, if you're certain of the role you want, write the roles down and then ensure your resume fits those roles. If you're uncertain about the role that you're applying to, you want to make sure you write down your skills, education, experience, and you can actually use ChatGPT to search and ask it what roles should you apply for based on your already existing skills and education experience. And if you're at a place where you just feel like, oh no, I need something new, You can actually use Holland codes test. You can just search that online and you can find a test, and it actually has 6 different domains, and it will let you know based off the test what type of roles are best for you to actually work in. And with that information of those roles, you can research those further by going to bls.gov. And not only will it tell you information about the roles, but it will let you know about the job outlook for those roles compared to other roles and see if there will be more of those roles within the next 20 years or less of them. Now, one thing I want to say at this step is if you are feeling a lack of confidence, that is not a reason to change your role. Now remember, just because you lost your job does not mean that you are inadequate, inefficient, or incompetent in any way. People lose jobs all the time. We are an at will country in many states. So remember, just because you lost your job does not mean you should lose your will when it comes to that job. Make sure you're keeping an open mind and not thinking about the past and what happened to you, but focused on what do I need to do now to get to where I need to get to my future. And lastly, with step 9, review job market and networking. So you're going to review your role, and you're going to do this on LinkedIn or Indeed or any other job board where you're going to review the skills, education, experience for similar roles as the one you are looking for on those sites. And this is going to give you a good idea of whether or not there are certain skills that they're looking for that maybe you are lacking. And this is going to prompt you to figure out, do I need to learn additional skills, education, or have any more experience before I can actually get those roles for this job that I want? And there's opportunities where you can still learn this education or these skills by going on something like Udemy, YouTube, LabX, which actually focuses on the actual skills, LinkedIn, Google, Coursera. And a lot of these could be free, especially like Udemy. You can get that free with your public library. Get a mentor. I cannot stress this enough. If you need to go and get a job where you want to go and do something where it's promotion, make sure you have a mentor, someone to help you and be there by your side to help you, guide you, and show you the way on how to get there. Outreach. Talk to a previous boss, coworkers, friends, acquaintances. Ask them if they know of anybody who's having a job, who needs someone in a position, who needs help, even for those immediate sources of income we were talking about before. If they don't know, you won't know, and you won't be able to see those opportunities. I cannot stress this enough. You'd be surprised. There might be somebody you were working with once for just a little bit of time. They love the way that you work, they love your work ethic, and they want to do work with you. Put yourself out there, see what the opportunities are. Networking. Make sure you are using opportunities where you can go to events, seminars, professional events, seminars, also looking on social media, interacting with other professionals to go and actually build those relationships. Through them, they might also have other companies network you, get you to roles where you need to be. And then lastly, make sure on LinkedIn you show yourself as open to work and connect with recruiters. Recruiters are all the time trying to find people to fit into roles. But if they don't know you, you're going to seem like anybody else. And then you're not going to have that opportunity to get those roles. And lastly, thank you so much. Please click like and subscribe below if you enjoyed this. And good luck with your journey.